Welcome back to The Fight. I'm Alex Wilcox. We're joined now by a Notre Dame professor conducting research with implications right here in South Bend. Along with a team of faculty, Bibby is working on an unconventional way to track the spread of COVID-19 through the sewage system. Professor, thank you for joining us here in The Fight.
Yeah, thank you for having me and for everything you're doing today with this project.
Of course. Now, my first question for you, how did you and your fellow researchers come up with this project? I mean, where did the idea come from to look at the sewage system?
Yeah, so not something most people would probably think of.
No.
So first I need to give credit to my collaborators here at Notre Dame, so Matt Champion and Norm DeVicki in chemistry and biochemistry, and Dr. Alex Perkins in biology department, who are all contributing to this project, as well as numerous students and postdocs as well. And so really, our group studies water quality, and so we're used to measuring contaminants, including things like viruses in water all the time. And sort of alongside that, there's been a lot of work done on tracking disease spread, most notably polio, in using sewage as a marker. And so put those two together, when an infected individual excretes this virus in feces, which most of them do, that ends up in the sewage system, and we can use that to track the virus then in the community.
I really hesitate to ask this question, and I'm nervous for your answer. But can you tell us exactly how you conduct this research? I mean, what's the process here?
Yeah, so we collect exactly what it sounds like, sewage samples, and we process those. And what we're actually looking for is the virus RNA, so the virus genome. And so we use a lot of extra safety precautions, but we don't expect that the infectious virus is there in those samples. It's really the virus RNA that we're looking for. And then we process those here at Notre Dame and use a couple of different techniques to look for that viral RNA.
So then what information can tracking through the sewage system tell us about a virus's spread?
Yeah, so I'm sure most of the viewers here are familiar with this idea that at least a significant fraction of those that might be infected have no or very low-level symptoms.
Right.
And it's also difficult for many individuals, especially if they have low-level symptoms, to get a test. And so there's been questions how many people in the community actually have this virus, and that might inform when it's safe to open things up or whether the trajectory is going up or down. And so this information, monitoring this virus in the sewage, is just another way to look at the whole situation. And the lead time on this is probably much shorter than you would expect from clinical tests. So we can determine that information much more quickly.
Now, right now, COVID-19 testing is done on an individual basis, case by case, as you said. Could the research that you're doing, though, have the potential to possibly make testing done on a more widespread scale, testing possibly whole communities at once? Yeah,
I think it could do a couple of important things in the near term. So one, I think it's really powerful to tell the trend of infections, so whether more people are carrying this virus or less. And hopefully, once we get this virus under control, we can use it as a surveillance system to watch for reemergence of this virus.
Right.
So if you're testing the sewage system, you could see if even if there's no clinical cases, maybe it's still out there somewhere in the community.
Yeah. And going forward, do you think that your research has the ability to possibly affect how we understand viruses in the future?
There's certainly that hope, right? So there's all sorts of diseases beyond this current pandemic that we could use this type of approach to monitor for, whether that's other viruses of high consequence or things like antibiotic resistance. And so looking past this current project, we would certainly hope to develop these methods to look at all of these other diseases as well.
Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And of course, thanks for all the fight you're doing against COVID-19.